Let me save you from a mistake I see relocation buyers making all the time. They fly to Florida, they schedule 20 house showings, and by the time they find the one they actually love, it's already under contract. Not because the market is crazy, but because their trip had no structure. And relocation without structure, that gets expensive fast. So in this video, I am going to show you how smart relocation buyers moving to Florida plan their house hunting trip so that they don't waste time, miss the best houses, or make a rushed decision that they regret later. For context, I help buyers every week who are relocating to Florida. Some move to Gainesville, some move to Ocala, and we get to work together directly. Other buyers, they move to cities across the state of Florida where I personally connect them with agents that I have vetted. It's different locations, but it's the same relocation strategy. And that strategy is what I'm going to walk you through today. Because when buyers relocate successfully, they don't just start touring homes. They follow a very specific order, and it starts before a single showing is scheduled. Step one is what I insist you do before you do anything else. Before we look at any homes, the city is chosen. Not Tampa or Orlando or maybe Gainesville. You've chosen your city. You have done the research. You've even driven in the traffic and you're okay with it. You understand what the infrastructure of the city is like, and you've tested the job market to make sure that if you're looking for employment, you can find it. And then once you've narrowed it down to the city, then we start looking for homes in that city. We get clear on what city you want to live in first, and then we move with speed. And that's not me being rigid. That is me protecting your leverage. All right, now that you got the city locked in, we're going to formalize. We schedule a strategy consultation, not a house showing, not a chat, a working session. We align on your timeline. What is your true budget? Not the wishful budget, the one where you're going to feel comfortable writing that check every single month. We're going to discuss insurance and its requirements, property taxes, and how they're going to impact you. If you're okay being in an HOA, and if so, what do those payments and that structure look like? Then the buyer agency agreement is signed that says we are in agreement to work directly together. Because once we start touring homes, we are making sure that we are aligned and I understand that we are exactly on the same page, and that's the one you told me about. Then we'll be working underneath clear expectations, clear communications, and clear commitment. I understand serious buyers, you don't want chaos. That is how professionals move with the least amount of stress. Next, we work on the financial paperwork. Before a single showing is scheduled or a home is toured, we verify your financing. You're going to have either a lender pre-approval letter or proof of funds. And I understand that you may choose to have both so that you have options, and that is great. This is going to show you your true comfort range, not just what the bank approves. The bank may approve you for $1 million loan with an $8,000 monthly payment, and you don't want that because you'd rather live your life outside the house. And we need to know that upfront before we start seeing homes. In addition to the monthly payment amount, we're also going to factor in your insurance, your property taxes, any HOA fees, and find out, are you still comfortable inside of that number? Because if that number makes you feel uncomfortable on paper, then we're not going to tour that house in person. And no, we don't see houses $100,000 over budget just to see. Curiosity is expensive, and I am not in the business of creating buyer's remorse. I'd rather have an honest conversation up front than a stressful one once you're under contract. This isn't about what can you afford to buy. This is about what do you feel comfortable owning. Once your financial picture is set and you're comfortable, we stop casually browsing listings and we start filtering. Because without being crystal clear on what you're looking for, it just leads to chaos. And don't worry, we're not going to miss any house in the city that you're looking for. We're just going to get crystal clear on what it is you want. So we're going to start by putting every single house in the city in the box. From there, we are going to start eliminating properties that do not meet your criteria. Usually that starts with how many bedrooms do you want? So if you're looking for a 4-bedroom, a 2-bedroom is not going to work. That's also going to go for things like number of bathrooms. Do you want a single-story home or is a 2-story okay? Do you need a garage or do you just want a garage? Same thing with a pool. Do you need a pool or do you just want a pool? And is it okay if the community has a pool instead of your house? We're going to focus on things like, do you want an HOA? And if you're okay with it, what is the monthly payment on that HOA that you're comfortable with? And do you like their rules? And then we're going to break it down by area. Do you want to live on the Northwest or the Southwest? Maybe you're okay with both of them, but you just don't want to live over here. And of course, we're going to look at price range. If you've got a $400,000 budget, we are not shopping in the $600,000 budget. And you're going to tell me, but Tammy, they might come down. You're right, they might. Let's wait until they get closer to that number instead of going to a $600,000 seller and say, I'm here with my $400,000 budget. Doesn't usually work out. We're going to get crystal clear about the house criteria that you are looking for. No gray area, no wandering. This is going to bring it down to a few properties, but those properties are going to be the strongest contenders. Quick story for you. I work with many buyers who fly into town. They're here for 2 or 3 days and they feel like for the plane ticket and the travel, they need to see everything. And everything is chaos and everything is exhausted. They see homes that they would never buy, but they feel like they need to see them because they've got to see everything. And then it just tires them out. It makes them confused. And the home of their dreams was bought by somebody else who had laser focused vision, honed in on the right properties, saw them, and was able to make a decision quickly. While the buyers who needed to see everything ended up going back to the hotel with a headache because they were so overwhelmed. If you're flying in or you're driving in, we don't improvise. We have an operational plan. And it goes like this. The first day you get in, we do not tour homes. You are going to drive and see the areas where those homes are and make sure that you even like the area, that you like the neighborhood, that you like the traffic patterns. Are you okay with the distance that it's going to take you to get to the grocery store, restaurants, schools, or your job? How is the distance to the airport, the hospitals, or even possibly your future dog groomer? It's time to get a feel for the area because the house in the neighborhood could be amazing, but if it is in the wrong neighborhood, it is not going to work out. Quick story for you. I just had a buyer who came into town and they thought that they wanted to live in this one particular area. And I said, okay, well, you're going to need to drive the area and make sure that you're comfortable with what the traffic patterns are like and the population and the people. Talk to everybody when you're in there, wave and say hi. They came back the next day and they go, we don't like the area. Once we got off the interstate and we drove down there, we didn't like the traffic, we didn't like the restaurants, we didn't like the grocery store, and we didn't like the neighborhood. And that is what doing your research before is going to help you not make a mistake. Now, that first day, after you've toured the different areas and you're still okay and say, I want to keep these homes on the list because I like the area and the neighborhood, and we've eliminated areas where you're like, it's not what I thought it was going to be like. It looked nothing like the photos online, and we're going to go ahead and eliminate that. Now, it's great to have those remaining homes on your list by around 5 p.m. because setting up showings for the next day takes organization and structure. Many of the homes are owner occupied and they have rules like 24 hours notice or don't show on the weekends. And we need to make sure that we can get you into as many of those homes as possible while you're in town. And there are going to be situations in which you do want to see a home, but the seller, for personal reasons, may not let it be available to see that weekend. And no, we are not going to call them up and force them for you to see the house. Because if you did like that house, they're going to already tag you as difficult and probably not negotiate well with you if you choose to move forward. If there's a house that you absolutely must see, but for some reason it is not available to view that weekend, I can personally go and tour that house before you arrive or after you leave, take a video of it, and walk you through that house. The second day, with our schedule lined up, we're going to start touring homes. We want to place your strongest choices at the top and tour them first. Because if you love them, then we need to move forward on making an offer. I have seen many buyers who want to wait and see everything on the list, sleep on it overnight, and when they wake up the next morning, that house is gone, and then they're scrambling to go with Plan B house and Plan C house, which is just never the same as that Plan A house. If you've got a house that is the best house on your list and it's something that recently came on the market, it's probably somebody else's best house on their list too. And maybe they've been shopping for longer than you have and they know a deal when they see it and then they act quickly. The best houses wait for no one. Now, at the end of day 2, you have seen the homes that you want to see, and we're going to come back and we're going to start making decisions. Are there any homes that you want to see a second time? Or was there nothing that worked in your price range with your criteria and we need to start tweaking? Day 3 will be set to either revisit the homes that made the short list or reevaluate and see homes now in your new criteria. At the end of day 3, you are either somebody who is going to be under contract or you're going to be planning another trip and reevaluating what is truly important to you. If you're the buyer who's found yourself in the first position that you are under contract, congratulations. And you may be worried about, okay, well, what happens next? Because I don't live here. How am I going to handle inspections, appraisals, surveys? You don't have to worry about it. I take care of it. You are always welcome to fly back if you want to attend the inspection, the survey, or the appraisal. We find that many buyers prefer just to go ahead and hire professionals to conduct the inspection, the survey, and the appraisal, and then they just wait for the report to come back and we go over the report together and then decide next steps. And if you're asking the question, do I have to be present to close? No, you do not. Many offices do remote closing, so if you're not able to attend the closing in person, that's absolutely fine. They will either sign online with you or overnight the package to you, go over it, have you get somebody to notarize it, and then send it back. If you are relocating to Florida, the smartest first step is to book a strategy consultation before you book your plane tickets. If you're relocating anywhere else in Florida, I can connect you with a high-performing agent that I have personally vetted. There's a relocation questionnaire below. Fill it out and we can build your clear plan. And remember, the plan is city first, tour second, house third. This saves you from making a very expensive relocation mistake. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.